For decades, Palermo has been synonymous with organized crime, corruption, and violence. Today, the capital of Sicily is the symbol of rebirth, thanks to an extraordinary process that involved political and civil leaders, members of the church, the local media, and the law enforcement community. This is a story that teaches some very interesting lessons on how civil society and elected leaders can react with success to violence and intimidation. In Sicily, organized crime is referred to as Cosa Nostra, more commonly known throughout the world as the Mafia. During the 70s and 80s, the Mafia escalated its activities, turning the region into an international crossroads for drug trafficking. Thousands were killed on the streets of Palermo. Many more were threatened and blackmailed, all this without any real reaction from political and civil society leaders. But during the 80s, a new movement started to take its first steps. It involved young lawyers, politicians, even priests, led by a young professor, Leoluca Orlando. They organized public meetings during which they spoke out against this system of illegality, calling for a new culture, the culture of lawfulness. Pressure from this civic movement gave strength to the most courageous journalists and editors. They started to find space for stories on the role of organized crime in the local economy, in politics, in the everyday life of Palermo. As a result, Italian politicians in Rome finally took some action, allowing prosecutors and law enforcement to fight back against the Mafia. The reaction of the Mafia was brutal, but the waves of violence generated the opposite reaction than the Mafia expected. Instead of fear, the citizens of Palermo embraced courage. Major centers of moral authority came together to fight for freedom and democracy. Among the strongest voices to speak against illegality was the church. The voice of the Cardinal of Palermo resounded every Sunday against crime and corruption. Followed by Pope John Paul II, he decided to personally come to Sicily to say that anyone who is a member of a criminal organization was out of the family of God. And this message was reinforced by priests at the local level who explained to citizens that there was an alternative to fear and submission. Under pressure from Sicilian and Italian citizens, the national parliament passed special laws, including the seizure of Mafia-owned property and the introduction of a tough prison regime for members of the organization. In November 1993, the citizens of Palermo elected Leoluca Orlando as their mayor. Hundreds of programs were introduced to promote a culture of lawfulness in the everyday life of the citizens of Palermo. Among them, the Schools Adopt a Monument project that involved all primary and secondary school students. The project explained to youngsters that all areas of the city were the property and under the control of the citizens and not of local criminals. Another important program was conducted by Giornale di Sicilia, the leading daily newspaper of Sicily. Every day, it dedicated a full page to the school children who could submit articles and letters about the main issues in their city. This encouraged civic debate among youngsters and their families. The mayor then personally answered all of these articles and letters. This had an extremely positive influence on the whole community, demonstrating that relations with the city administration could be transparent and direct without the need of corruption and special favors. Some of the results are remarkable. Among them, the yearly murder rate in Palermo dropped from 240 in 1984 to 3 in 2000, and now it is next to none. For decades, every time a crime was committed in Palermo, law enforcement officials would struggle to find any witness willing to testify, even when the crime happened in crowded locations. Today, this doesn't happen anymore. The number of tourists has increased, particularly foreign visitors, up 87% since 1993. Organized crime is not defeated in Sicily. However, the story of the last 20 years in Palermo shows that positive results in the fight against organized crime are not utopian, even in the most difficult countries.